Good morning, students. Yesterday we discussed about the DQ. Only 21 students have joined. I'm waiting. Wait for 2 more minutes for the many students have joined. Just see the uh, PPT here. What is DQ? So DQ is also a data structure where the elements are inserted at one end, deleted at other end, just like you. Here we can insert and delete the elements both end of the. You can insert rear end and then you can delete from rear end, and you can insert from front end and you can delete also from front end. Okay. So this is the pictorial representation of DQ. I am revising previous topic only. So double-ended queue represent two ways. One is input restricted double-ended queue and another one is output restricted double-ended queue. So here input restricted, what is input restricted double-ended queue means? The insertion operation is performed only at one end and deletion operation is performed at both ends. That we call it as a input restricted double-ended queue. Here deletion operation performed both ends, but insertion at only one end we have performed. Okay, so we have to insert at front end and delete at both ends. Okay. Next, what is output restricted double-ended queue here? In this insertion at front end and rear end we perform, but deletion at only at rear end we call it as a output restricted double-ended queue. Just see the diagram. You can easily understand. Different types of operations on DQ are here insertion at rear end, insertion at front end, delete rear end, delete front end. Okay. So if you want to insert at rear end or front end, we have to check that condition is queue is full or not. If the queue is full, we cannot insert items into the queue. Here, this is the logic for insertion at rear end. So the concept is clear. So the queue is clear here. Okay. So far clear, students, or any doubt, please write a message in chat box. Anyone reply with a message? Write a message in chat box. Is it clear, students? Anyone reply? Okay, so now we see the program here. So all of you concentrate because this is a data structure subject. You must know the program and also concept. So exam point of view, if we ask a program or a question, you are able to write the program or theory. That's why I'm explaining with the program. See here. Initially, we are when we write the before start of the program, we declare the size of the queue. We already know about that. So that is I declare here queue size as 5. You may write any name there, but header file you have to include is hash defined. So I initially see here I am taking int as variable item which data is inserted into the queue. We can store in item, and I am taking initially f equal to 0 and r equal to -1. In some textbook, some of the write as f equal to -1. So, if you take f equal to -1, then you have to check that when you see here when you delete the item, if you take f equal to -1, you have to pre-increment f by 1. Why you are going to pre-increment f by 1 means initial f equal to -1. In that case, I am explain you. So in that case, just pre-increment f by 1. If you are if you are take f equal to 0, directly the first element is deleted, then increment will perform. Okay. So first one is insertion at rerun. So if you want to insert at rerun, first you have to check the queue is full or not. That is r equal to queue size -1. Okay. So if the condition is true, then it will display the overflow condition. Otherwise, you can insert by pre-increment r by 1. Then you have to store the data into the queue. Clear, students? Anyone respond? Short message. Then delete front. So if you want to delete front, first you have to check that queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, you cannot delete. So that's why check. I am taking here f greater than r, because initial f equal to 0, r equal to minus means initial condition is f equal to 0, r equal to -1. So in that case, the queue is empty or underflow. Okay. If you take f equal to -1, then you have to check f equal to -1 and r equal to -1 only. Then you have to check the queue is overflow. If you are consider f equal to -1 in that case. Okay. Clear, students? Here if you insert front, the same pattern you have to write there. If f equal to -1 and r equal to -1, then you have to, instead of f greater than 1, you instead check the condition in this case. So insertion at front end means queue is empty, then only you can insert. That's why I check the condition, queue is empty, then I can insert the item at the front end. But in front end only one item can be inserted. So if f equal to 1, this condition will occur. Okay. So what is this condition means? If you store the any elements in the queue, if you delete any item from the front end of the queue, then you can insert there by decrementing the condition. Okay, I am explaining with an example. Wait a minute. Okay, see here, students. So what is this? This condition means, see here. Uh, this is my queue. Okay, I insert some elements. Okay, now just assume 10, 20, and 30. I insert by increment r by 1. I can insert these three elements. Okay, then I want to delete items from front end. Okay, initially f equal to 0. So then directly q f plus plus I delete this. Okay, then f is 1. This is also deleted. Now f is 3. Sorry, f is 2. So this is all deleted. Now f come here. Okay. So here some elements things. This is also an element. I have come here. These three are deleted. Okay. This one is deleted. This one deleted. This one deleted. Now f value is 2. Okay. So now f value is 2. You can directly see here in this case. Here is f not equal to 0 in this case. No, f equal to 2 here. So you directly, if the, sorry, for example, f is here only. Okay. So if f is here, you cannot delete this. Now, if f not equal to 0, then item is inserted into the queue by pre-decrement. So f equal to 3, now f value is 2, then you can store here 60. Again 60, 70. Again 80. So you can insert in this way. For this purpose, this is the condition. You can insert only one element from front end, and remaining are inserted at rear end only. If you want to, if you want to delete from front end, and is any empty space is there, this condition will insert the element at front end. In queue, it is not possible. So that's why we use circular queue. In here, this process, here this method works here. Okay. In queue, this method is not working here. If there is empty in the front box, it will show overflow. But here you can insert here. Okay. So this is the insertion at front end. Next, move to the delete at rear end. Next one, delete at rear end. So directly, if f greater than the overflow, otherwise directly you can delete rear element. What is the rear element? You can delete directly. Okay. So for display purpose, if you have to check the queue is empty or not, then similarly, just like you can print in this way. Okay, where 4 cases are there. First one insert rear, then second one delete front, third one insert front, fourth one delete rear. Okay. So yesterday already run this program. once again I am compiling this program. Okay, students, screen is visible. Okay, see here, this is the program. Just I am run this program. So just check the cases here. Why? Because we have to give the number if you are insert or delete. So first case one is insert rare. Case two is delete friend. Case three is insert friend. Case four is delete rare. Just remember, I run this program. Enter your choice. I want to insert front. Okay. So choice is 3 here. So I'm going to insert 10. Again, I want to insert at front end. It is not possible because if the FL is greater than 1, it directly shows the error message here. See here. Front end insertion is not possible. Clear? So now I can insert at rear end. That is option choice is 1. Now I'm going to insert 20. Next again insert 30. Again insert 40. And again insert 50. Again insert 60. Overflows it shows yes. Q is overflow. Now we can display the what are the elements in the queue. So the queue elements are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. So now I am going to remove first 3 elements at front end and I can insert at front end. Is it possible or not? Just check here. So deletion at front end, you have the choice is 2. So 10 is deleted. Again I delete 20 is deleted. Again delete 30. Now I am going to display the queue only 40, 20. So if I am going to insert at front end, the elements displayed after that element queue. Okay. So insert at front end, we have the choice is 3. Okay. I insert 2 elements. Okay. Okay. So 40, 50, 60, 70 are inserted due to server problem. The program is closed. So I delete some elements from the front end. That is choice 2. 40 is deleted, choice 2. 40 is deleted, choice 2. 60 is deleted. Now I can display the elements. Okay, I can insert 70. So I can insert next 80. Choice 3 means in delete insert at front end. So now elements in the queue is 70, 80 only. So now insert 90 at front end. Okay. And again insert at 100 front end. And again insert at 200 front end. So 3 elements removed, 3 elements stored. So display. See here. Now in see here in this 40, 50, 60 are deleted. Next I insert at front end. First I insert 90, see here 90 in this location. That is if f not equal to 0, you can pre-decrement f by 1, then you have to store that in the queue. So initial in previous case, f is incremented. So initial in previously f is 0, 40 is deleted, f is 1, 50 is deleted, f is 2. Okay. So here f is 0 and f is 1, f is 2, and we delete the item f plus plus. After deletion, increment will perform. Then after deletion 60, f value is 3. So if you want to, these three items are deleted. If you want to insert at front end, now these three blocks are empty. Now I pre-decrement f by 1. Then I insert 90, 100, 200. Okay, clear students? So this is the process for insertion at the front end of the cube. In this way you can insert. Okay. So this logic is here. Already I told you. So this pattern, this one. I'm talking about this thing. If the f is, if you delete three items, then if f not equal to 0, you directly insert there. So this is the operation for what is here creating insertion at front end. Okay, clear students? Any queries, please write a message. So next we discussed about last two topics in the second unit, that is ADT. What is abstract data type? I already told you abstract data type is nothing but abstract data type is consisting is a mathematical one which consists of, okay. So what is abstract data type? I already discussed about abstract data type. So here in this in our in computer science, so a abstract data type is a mathematical model for data types. Okay, so an abstract data type is defined by the behavior from the point of behavior from the point of view of a user of the data, especially in terms of possible values. Okay, so uh, so actually what is ADT? So just remember that what is ADT means. ADT is a collection of data and a set of operations performed on that data. Okay, so how we implementation of ADT, how we implement the ADT, it includes choosing a particular data structures. So a data structure is a construct that can be defined in a programming language to store a collection of data. So what is ADT means? ADT will it will includes it will choose the particular data structures. Okay, so what is ADT means? ADT is a collection of data and a set of operations performed on that data. We call it as ADT. Okay, so ADT choose some of the data structures. So our in data structures, so for example, if you it will choose the data structure as Q. So here Q has all of you know about Q. Q is a data structure where elements are inserted at one end and deletion at the other end. Okay, what is the Q as ADT? So Q as ADT means here Q contains some operations. So that operations will performed on data. So what is ADT? ADT is a collection, is a set of data and perform operations regarding to that data. Okay, that is ADT. So Q as ADT means here Q has some operations that performed on the data. So here we are considering operations only, but we hide implementation. We do not consider implementation here. We can only perform operations on regarding the data by using Q. Okay, clear students? So here just we hide the implementation. We just perform operations on the data. That is called as ADT. That is Q as ADT means you can. Okay, clear students? Just remember, ADT means set of data. It is a collection of data and related operations performed on the data. We call it as ADT. So Q as ADT means we just consider the operations performed on Q and we hide the implementation. That we call it as ADT. Okay. So some of the operations on Q are make empty. That is Q is empty. Okay. Just remember you can insert. Just remember you can perform operations only. Implementation is we are not considering here. Implementation is hide. The user point of view, the operation is performed according to ADT. So Q has ADT. So some of the operations on Q are make empty. So make Q empty means that if F greater than R, Q is empty. That is F equal to 0, R equal to -1, Q is empty. So that is also one of the operations on Q. If the Q is empty or not, we can check that make Q is empty. And next one is so make is empty. That is I have just told you. It shows the it returns true or false value, and is Q is full means it shows the overflow. If R equal to Q size -1, it shows Q is overflow. So make empty means you just clear the Q as empty. Okay, to make Q as empty. Okay, next NQ means NQ means we already know NQ is used for insertion. So insert except rare of the Q if and only if Q is not empty. So if and only if Q is not full. Okay, so I already told you if you want to insert an item into the queue, first of all you have to check the queue is overflow or not. So NQ means insert at rear end. You have to check queue is overflow or not. For that R equal to Q size -1. Otherwise you can insert at rear end by incrementing R by 1 and then you can store the element in Q. Next one is DQ. So DQ means delete the item in the queue at front end. So you directly delete Q of F and then increment F by 1. Then you can delete the item. First of all, if you want to delete the item in a queue, you have to check that queue is empty or not. For that, the condition is if F greater than R, queue is empty. And traverse. So traverse means you have to display all the elements in the queue. So just write the display function to see the content stored in the queue or the data stored in the queue. So this is about Q as ADT. Just remember that Q ADT is a set of data and a collection of, okay, it is a collection of data and a set of operations on that and perform a set of operations on that data. So here operations for Q as ADT as make empty, is empty, is full, and MQ, DQ traverse. Next see here, next one is stack as ADT. Okay, clear students? So just remember definition. ADT is also used for stores data and allow various operations on the data to access and changes. If you want to change or want to change the data by using ADT also you can change the data. But here implementation is hiding here. Okay. So for clear students, just operations you have to identify here. Then see stack. So stack as ADT. Next see stack as ADT. So you already know, that's why I just explaining here. Stack as ADT. So what is ADT? ADT is a collection of data and a set of operations performed on that data. Okay. So stack as ADT means first we have to consider the operations performed on stack. So what is stack? So stack is a data structure where the elements are inserted at one end. Deletion can be performed at the same end. We call it as a stack. So this is my stack. So insertion at one end and deletion at the same end. This is insertion, and this one is deletion. Okay. So a list with the restriction that insertion and deletion can be performed only from one end, we call it as a top. This is called as top. So what are the operations on stack? So what are the operations we are going to perform on stack? You already know. First one is push. So we can push the element into the stack or insert the element into the stack. Next one is pop, or delete the item from the stack. Next operation is top. You can know the topmost element of the stack. Then you can, another operation is there, is empty. Is empty means what is the condition here? Top equal to -1, that is Q stack is empty. Okay, so these are the some operations performed on stack. That is stack as ADT means you have to perform these operations. Push, pop, top is empty. Okay, so if you want to push the element into the stack, you have to check the condition that stack is overflow or not. For that, the first of all you have to check if top equal to stack size -1, then you can check if the condition true, stack is overflow. Otherwise you pre-increment pop by 1, because initially we are taking top equal to -1. So you have to pre-increment top by 1, then you can push the data into the stack. Okay, you already know that last in first out stack is a data structure where the elements last element is in last element who the last element last in first out the last element is comes first in stack. Okay, so for example, if you insert the three elements in the stack, so insert 10, 20, and 30. If you want to delete the last element inserted is deleted first, that is pop. So if you want to pop the element from the stack, first of all you have to identify the stack is empty or not. That equal to top equal to -1 means stack is empty. So see a top function. So just now top is at 30. Top is 0 here, top 1, top 2. Now top position at 2. You want to see the top function. That is the top element of the queue. Just write here the top function. Then inside this, you have to write here return. I am taking S stack S of top. Then it will display the topmost element, that is it will display 30. Okay. Last one is empty. Is empty means if a topic equal to -1, the queue the stack is empty. Okay. Clear students, or any doubt? Write a message in chat box. See here. See here, the screen is visible. Okay. This is our syllabus. So, so far, just see the top any. I cover all the topics. Any topic means just inform me. Okay. So, I explained stack. Okay. Next definition I will explain, and then representation of stack explain. Today we discussed about stack as ADT and applications of stack. We already discussed prefix, infix, and postfix. Then we all discussed conversions, evaluations, all these discussed. Recursion we also discussed, and towers of Hanyo recursion. We have see the example of towers of Hanyo problem. Then queue definition I have discussed. The representation of queue we already discussed. Today we discussed about abstract data type of queue. Then I discussed about circular queue. I discussed about the DQ. Just one topic is remaining, that is priority queue. So what is priority queue? The name itself indicates that priority. So it will store the data in priority order. Okay. So what is priority queue? Just only the definition of the priority queue. In next class we will discuss the priority queue and what are the operations performed on priority queue. So what is priority queue? So here a queue in which we are able to insert item or remove item from any position based on some priority. That is priority queue. So in a queue we are able to insert item or remove item from any position based on some priority. We call it as a priority queue. So here priority queue always an element with higher priority is processed before processing any of the lower priority elements. So here it will process the higher priority element first with the lower before processing of any lower priority elements. So for example, uh, if if you travel if you travel on bike by road, so and also on our ML also traveling on road. So who will give first priority to ML to us? So priority will given to the MLA. Okay. So here priority is nothing but now we are giving some numbering or we give some priority number to that element, then it will store the according to the priority. For example, if you want to store any data in the priority queue, it will store the queue in any order. But if you want to delete the elements in the queue, it will be based on the priority. Okay. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss about this topic of priority queue. Then we will start our third unit, that is uh, linked list. Okay. Any queries? No one no one reply me. Is it clear so far? Topics covered or any doubts? Clear, students? Okay, today end the session. Tomorrow we will meet. Thank you.